Steve Sarkisian, congratulations. His contract, and multiple Texas writers, columnists, etc. had this. Here's his contract. And again, there's some details to some of this. 2 cars, private jet, I think it's like 20 hours a year. Game tickets up to, I believe, what could be 12 for a home game, and maybe even that for bowl games, championship games, a country club membership. And then he was making just under $6 million. His contract nearly doubles, 24 through 2030. Steve Sarkisian led Texas to the semifinals, won the Big 12, headed to the SEC, and he has gotten himself the bag and paid.
I wouldn't get out of bed for less than 50 hours a year of private jet use, but if that's fine with you, Steve, then move on with your life and your pathetic $10 million a year. No, that's an unbelievable contract, and it sets them up well going to the SEC. I mentioned this earlier. Soki, you and I always kind of joke about how Texas kind of has things happen around them that are lucky, and like they're now finally
they take advantage of it.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, like, for a long time in the Big 12, they didn't take advantage of anything until the last year in it. But one thing happened around them that's pretty big. The 2 biggest mountains to climb in the SEC are Georgia and the Kirby Smart Mountain and the Nick Saban Mountain. Well, the Nick Saban Mountain just got a lot smaller.
Who they beat the Nick Saban Mountain.
Beat already. So going in, so this is, all just good news. And this is the first time, had they given Tom Herman, I know they, after the 10-win season, they gave him an extension, but had they given Tom Herman an extension like this, it would have been crazy. But coming off a college football playoff appearance, coming off what are really amazing recruiting classes, and actually putting players into the NFL, which could be as many as like 3 to 4 first rounders, and at least 1, and probably 3 more in the early second round, where they weren't doing that for a long time. This is a strong move for Texas as they move into the SEC, and I think it gives Steve Sarkisian the comfort he's going to need as he moves into what's going to be a really tough league.
Congratulations to Sark. I mean, that's a job well done and deserved when you take a team to the college football playoff, and you've got all the things that are moving in your direction the way that Paul laid them out. I mean, the recruiting's at a top-notch level. I know that's been the case with previous staffs, but just all of it, the total package of what's going on right now in Austin is, it's a very positive upward trajectory, and you feel like you're just scratching the surface. And so a guy does what he does, winning the Big 12 in his last year, and then, again, taking you to the CFP in a very competitive game against Washington. He's going to be the guy for a long time. There's no 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of wondering how long-term this is going to be. I mean, he's very clearly their guy for the foreseeable future, and so you want to reward him and on the season that they had, but also have him amongst the highest-paid coaches and the peers that he's going to have in the league that they're now joining. I mean, that's what a lot of coaches are making there and about. So I think it's just just in line with the performance so far in the program that he's at. And so I've seen a lot of it around, like a lot of kind of fawning over it. And we'd all in a second trade for that type of a contract. But I think that's just kind of business as usual for Texas and for Steve Sarkisian. Big bucks, big games, big time momentum with that program. And so that's now taken care of. And it's on to now, winning and getting over that CFP hump and getting back into the playoff next year and really asserting yourself in the SEC starting next year. I mean, in line with just all the momentum, I saw a random post about lines for next year, and I couldn't even tell you. It was a very much an in-passing type of thing, but one of the games I saw was Texas is already like a 10.5-point favorite over Oklahoma. And it's weird because I think Oklahoma's fine, but they definitely don't have any of the a shell of the momentum that Texas has rolling into the SEC next year. It's weird. They're still on solid footing, but Texas is in quite the little run right now. So, congrats to Sark. He's done a great job there, and we'll see what he continues to do.
All right, so there is that with Sarkisian. Congratulations on the deal. And, it kind of reminds me of the momentum of early on in the 2000s when Texas and Mac Brown started gaining steam that led towards a national championship after they finally got over the hump of beating Oklahoma. We'll see if it gets to that point, but they are in a pretty good spot. All right, Arizona has